Drew Scott, one half of the famous twin duo behind Property Brothers, vanished from television screens for over a year, leaving fans puzzled and worried. In 2019, his body began to betray him in ways no one could understand. Doctors ran countless tests, checking for autoimmune diseases like lupus and even rare neurological disorders, yet nothing added up. His energy drained away, and tasks that were once simple became impossible. Heat caused dizzy spells. Standing for long periods left him weak, and his mind felt perpetually foggy. Despite countless medical consultations, no clear diagnosis emerged, and the uncertainty weighed heavily on him. By the time the doctors finally identified the problem, Drew had already suffered serious consequences. The illness, a combination of mercury poisoning and chronic fatigue syndrome, had stealthily invaded his body, leaving him exhausted and unable to maintain the pace his career demanded. For someone who had built a life around energy, optimism, and constant movement, this invisible struggle was terrifying. While millions saw only his charismatic smile and effortless charm on television, behind the scenes, Drew faced a daily battle that tested both his body and mind. The severity of the illness forced him to slow down, step back from filming, and prioritize his health, a choice that weighed heavily on a man used to pushing through challenges without pause. This chapter of his life reminds fans that even the brightest public figures carry unseen struggles, and that fame often comes with pressures that are invisible to the public eye. Drew Scott's journey began long before television cameras ever captured him. He was born on April 28, 1978, in Vancouver, British Columbia, as the unexpected twin to his older brother Jonathan. The surprise arrival was dramatic. For minutes after Jonathan's birth, Drew entered the world, a hidden heartbeat that no doctor or parent had anticipated. In 1978, ultrasounds were not as common as they are today, and the perfectly synchronized heartbeats of the twins went unnoticed until delivery. Growing up on a horse farm in Maple Ridge, the Scott family embraced a life of discipline, hard work, and resilience. Their parents, Jim and Joan Scott, who had immigrated from Scotland, instilled a strong work ethic, teaching the boys to save money, handle responsibilities, and face challenges without complaint. From early mornings hauling feed in the cold to racing horses across open fields, Drew and Jonathan learned lessons that would shape their future. Joan also ensured that they experienced structure and discipline through karate and other activities, reinforcing the idea that determination and focus were crucial traits. These childhood experiences created a foundation that prepared them for the unpredictable demands of adult life, where creativity, responsibility, and resilience would all become essential. Even their earliest business ventures, like Jam Enterprises, show that success comes from teamwork, persistence, and willingness to take risks. These lessons were not academic. They were learned through practical experience and helped the twins understand the connection between effort and reward. The balance of freedom and discipline in their upbringing prepared Drew for both the excitement and challenges that awaited him in real estate, television, and personal life. As children, Drew and Jonathan explored creative outlets that reflected their personalities and ambitions. At the age of 8, they became child performers, adopting the roles of clowns for birthday parties and parades. Drew's curly hair and vibrant energy made him perfect for the role, while Jonathan's dimples added charm. Though it might seem whimsical, these experiences provided crucial skills for Drew, including reading audiences, handling attention, and performing under pressure. The gigs were lucrative for children, paying up to $100 an hour, and allowed the twins to gain financial independence while learning the dynamics of public attention. These performances were more than just fun. They were the early building blocks for Drew's future career in television. After stepping away from clowning, the twins focused on education and entrepreneurial ventures, flipping a $200,000 property while still in university. They learned firsthand the risks and rewards of real estate investment, honing negotiation skills, financial planning, and project management. Drew's early life was filled with lessons in responsibility, creativity, and resilience, all of which would become critical as he pursued acting and, eventually, television success. Balancing childhood performance, entrepreneurship, and family responsibilities instilled a unique ability to juggle multiple projects, a skill that would later define the Scott brothers' television empire. These formative experiences also reinforced the importance of teamwork, determination, and self-reliance, values that would guide Drew through the highs and lows of his career and personal life. Drew's early adult life was marked by ambition, adaptability, and a pursuit of diverse opportunities. While basketball initially captured his attention, an injury in college forced him to abandon his athletic dreams. The setback was painful, but it opened the door to real estate, an area where he could channel his energy and discipline. At just 18, Drew and Jonathan purchased their first property, a $200,000 fixer-upper, with only a $250 down payment using a vendor take-back mortgage. They renovated the home, sublet rooms, and sold the property a year later for a $50,000 profit. This early success demonstrated that careful planning, hard work, and strategic risk-taking could lead to significant rewards. Over the next 15 years, the twins flipped dozens of properties, all while balancing side jobs to maintain financial stability. Drew worked as a flight attendant, personal trainer, website designer, mall security worker, and even as a manager in a bikini store. Each job taught him about people, responsibility, and perseverance, adding layers of experience that would later inform his television persona and business acumen. By 2004, after losing thousands of poor representation, Drew earned his real estate license to gain control over his investments, solidifying the foundation of Scott Real Estate, Incorporated. With both brothers licensed, they managed everything themselves, combining negotiation, design, renovation, and staging into one cohesive operation. These strategic decisions not only built financial independence, but also laid the groundwork for their future television careers. The mix of creativity, discipline, and business insight became a hallmark of Drew's professional identity, enabling him to navigate complex deals and challenges while remaining relatable and engaging to clients and later television audiences. Drew Scott's rise to television fame was the result of years of persistence, hard work, and an uncanny ability to combine his talents with those of his brother. After years of auditions, small acting roles, and repeated rejection, Drew had learned that success in entertainment required both skill and timing. Early attempts at acting included appearances on Breaker High in 1997 and Smallville in 2001, often as background characters or extras. While these roles were small, they provided valuable insight into the workings of television production and the demands of performing on camera. During this period, the brothers also launched Video Production Group, hoping to create their own projects, though limited funds and distribution challenges kept. Real estate remained their financial lifeline, supporting creative ventures while teaching them the discipline needed to manage budgets, timelines, and complex projects. By 2010, the twins began exploring television more seriously, developing concepts that merged real estate expertise with engaging storytelling. Drew initially feared being overshadowed by Jonathan, whose construction skills were obvious, but he fought to carve out a role for himself on camera. Their determination paid off in 2011 when Property Brothers premiered on HGTV. The show combined real estate knowledge, home renovation expertise, and the brothers' charismatic personalities. Drew quickly became the face of the show, guiding nervous homeowners through complicated renovations while making the process appear effortless. Viewers responded instantly, with millions tuning in each week to watch the brothers' dynamic teamwork. This breakthrough moment validated years of struggle and laid the foundation for a media empire that extended far beyond the television screen. The Scott brothers demonstrated that persistence, collaboration, and the willingness to adapt were as essential to success as talent itself. Drew's blend of empathy, negotiation skill, and on-screen charisma set him apart, making audiences trust his guidance while enjoying the excitement of transformations that seemed both magical and realistic. As their television fame grew, the brothers expanded their brand into multiple areas, combining business savvy with creativity. Early successes in real estate gave them the confidence to launch Scott Real Estate, Inc., which handled everything from property acquisition to renovation. The skills honed in these early years translated directly to television, where tight schedules, budget constraints, and unexpected construction challenges demanded quick thinking and clear communication. Within 2 years, Property Brothers had expanded into spin-offs such as Brother vs. Brother and Property Brothers, Forever Home, increasing both visibility and workload. In addition, the Scott brothers launched Scott Living, a home goods brand that included furniture, kitchenware, and decor items, which quickly grew into a multi-million-dollar business. Drew became actively involved in both creative and executive aspects, balancing on-camera hosting with behind-the-scenes responsibilities like product development, marketing strategy, and team management. This period was intense. Filming schedules were grueling, often requiring 16-hour days and extensive travel between cities. Yet, Drew continued to maintain his signature optimism and energy, making viewers feel that transformations were achievable and enjoyable. While audiences saw only polished episodes and impressive results, the reality behind the camera involved constant negotiation, problem-solving, and decision-making. These experiences demonstrated that success was rarely simple. It demanded endurance, creativity, and the ability to manage both people and processes effectively. Drew's dedication during this time reflected the lessons learned during his upbringing. Discipline, teamwork, and resilience were now being applied on a much larger public scale. Behind the scenes, Drew's personal life developed alongside of professional growth, adding layers of complexity and joy. In 2010, during Toronto Fashion Week, he met Linda Fan, whose creativity and personality immediately captured his attention. Their relationship began naturally, with shared experiences like sushi dates, karaoke, and long conversations, allowing them to connect without the pressure of business or television. Over time, Linda became deeply involved in Scott Brothers Entertainment, eventually serving as creative director and playing a central role in the company's vision and operations. Their wedding in Italy in 2018 was a celebration of both love and culture, blending their Scottish and Vietnamese heritage in a ceremony attended by over 300 guests. Planning the wedding was an intense period, coinciding with ongoing business projects and filming schedules. Yet the couple supported each other through the chaos, demonstrating the strength of their partnership. The birth of their children, Parker James in 2022 and Piper Ray in 2024, added another dimension to their lives, bringing joy and new responsibilities. Drew adjusted his professional commitments to focus on family, prioritizing health, support for Linda during her pregnancies, and the creation of a nurturing home environment. Through these experiences, viewers saw a different side of Drew, not just a confident television host, but also a devoted husband and father balancing personal joy with professional demands. The integration of family into their public and private lives created a richer narrative for audiences, highlighting that even those in the spotlight face the universal challenges of love, responsibility, and time management. However, the path was not without obstacles. Drew's health issues emerged gradually, first noticed by fans as sporadic absences from filming. Initially mistaken for fatigue or minor illness, the symptoms worsened, revealing deeper problems. Mercury poisoning combined with chronic fatigue syndrome affected Drew's energy, cognitive clarity, and overall ability to function. Simple tasks became exhausting. Heat triggered dizziness, and prolonged standing was often impossible. The diagnosis provided some clarity, but also confirmed the severity of the challenge he faced. In addition, the public scrutiny that comes with fame amplified the stress. A 2019 lawsuit by homeowners who were dissatisfied with a renovation project brought unwanted attention, even though Drew and Jonathan were not directly named in the suit. Media coverage often associated their faces with the controversy, creating additional pressure. Furthermore, false online reports claiming that Drew had died in a car accident circulated in 2024, causing panic among fans and illustrating the dangers of misinformation. Drew's response, posting publicly to clarify the truth, helped manage the situation, but underscored how fame can magnify personal struggles and public perception. Despite these challenges, Drew focused on recovery, slowing down filming schedules, prioritizing health, and leaning on family for support. His openness about the difficulties of invisible illness, combined with his vulnerability in sharing experiences online, endeared him further to fans who related to his honesty and resilience. Drew's journey illustrates that even amidst fame and success, human fragility and perseverance remain central to the story. After facing serious health challenges, Drew Scott gradually shifted his focus to projects that allowed him to work at a sustainable pace. By 2019, he began prioritizing smaller, more meaningful renovations rather than racing through dozens of homes each season. Property Brothers. Forever Home was one such project, allowing Drew and Jonathan to connect more deeply with families and create spaces that were both functional and full of heart. Unlike earlier projects with tight 3-week filming schedules, this slower pace enabled thoughtful design, careful problem solving, and attention to detail that truly enhanced the home's livability. For Drew, this change was transformative, both professionally and personally. He no longer needed to push his body to the brink every day. Instead, he could focus on the creative and relational aspects of his work. Audiences appreciated the difference, noting the more personal touch in each home renovation. This approach also aligned with Drew's own journey of self-care, reminding him and viewers alike that slowing down can create space for better results and more meaningful experiences. By blending professional expertise with a slower, more intentional approach, Drew demonstrated that success does not always have to come at the expense of health, family, or personal well-being. The lessons he learned through illness, recovery, and career growth became a roadmap for balancing ambition with self-care, a lesson that resonates with viewers in every home he renovates, in addition to television. Drew and Jonathan continued to expand their business empire through Scott Brothers Entertainment and Scott Living. Drew's role as co-founder and executive producer involved guiding creative projects from concept to completion, ensuring that every detail aligned with the brothers' vision. By 2021, they had produced nearly 75 new episodes across 6 projects, reaching audiences in more than 160 countries. The brothers' home goods brand also continued to grow, with furniture, decor, and outdoor products becoming a significant part of their enterprise. This expansion was not just about financial success. It reflected Drew's commitment to creating high-quality, practical, and stylish product for families. Despite the ongoing demands of the business, Drew's focus on sustainable work practices allowed him to manage stress, maintain health, and remain engaged in both creative and managerial roles. The experience also provided an opportunity to mentor younger team members and shape the company's culture, fostering collaboration, professionalism, and innovation. By balancing on-camera presence with behind-the-scenes leadership, Drew proved that he could maintain influence and creativity without sacrificing personal well-being. This approach highlights the importance of adaptability and vision in long-term career success, demonstrating that resilience and strategic thinking are as critical as skill or talent alone. Family life continued to play a central role in Drew's recovery and overall happiness. The births of Parker James in 2022 and Piper Ray in 2024 brought profound joy and a sense of purpose that complemented his professional achievements. Parenting, combined with Linda's leadership as creative director, created a balanced home environment where responsibilities were shared and support was mutual. Drew adjusted work schedules to accommodate family priorities, demonstrating that even high-profile careers can coexist with family commitments when boundaries are respected. The twins shared experiences, childhood lessons in responsibility, entrepreneurial ventures, and teamwork. Now informed Drew's approach to parenting, emphasizing patience, empathy, and resilience. By sharing aspects of family life through social media and occasional television segments, Drew offered fans a glimpse into a more personal, human side of celebrity life, emphasizing values such as love, dedication, and the importance of health. The combination of professional achievements, family fulfillment, and personal recovery creates a holistic picture of success, one where well-being, relationships, and career accomplishments coexist. Drew's journey shows that setbacks, whether health-related or personal, do not define the trajectory of life. Rather, how one responds to challenges determines the depth and quality of future experiences. Finally, Drew Scott's story is not just one of fame and success, but also perseverance, vulnerability, and growth. The trials he faced, repeated professional rejections, health struggles, lawsuits, and public scrutiny demonstrate the unpredictable challenges of life in the public eye. Yet, through determination, family support, and careful attention to both work and well-being, Drew emerged stronger, more self-aware, and more intentional in his choices. His openness about chronic illness, the importance of slowing down, and maintaining balance resonates with fans who face their own struggles. The lessons extend beyond home renovations and television. They speak to the value of resilience, honesty, empathy, and the courage to prioritize personal health over external expectations. Drew's journey from a horse farm in Maple Ridge to international fame illustrates that true success involves more than talent or opportunity. It requires the ability to adapt, endure, and grow even when circumstances are difficult. Today, Drew Scott continues to inspire millions by combining professional excellence, family devotion, and personal authenticity. His life is a testament to the fact that success and happiness are not measured solely by fame or wealth, but by the strength to face adversity, the willingness to support others, and the courage to live authentically, even when the world is watching. Drew Scott was born on April 28, 1978, in Vancouver, as a surprise twin to Jonathan Scott. Their parents, Jim and Joan Scott, had immigrated from Scotland and built a life of discipline and hard work on a horse farm in Maple Ridge. From early mornings hauling feed in the cold to racing horses across open fields, Drew learned resilience, patience, and responsibility. Lessons in teamwork, entrepreneurship, and self-reliance were embedded in his childhood. By age 7, Drew and Jonathan were already experimenting with small business ventures, selling handcrafted items house to house, learning the value of effort, persistence, and creative thinking. Even their early stint as child performers, dressing as clowns for birthday parties and parades, taught Drew to perform under pressure, read crowds, and engage an audience. Little did anyone know, these experiences were preparing him for a future in television and business that would demand everything he had learned growing up. While Drew initially pursued basketball, injuries forced him to rethink his path. At just 18, he and Jonathan bought their first property, a $200,000 fixer-upper with a $250 down payment. Renovating and subletting rooms, they sold a house for a $50,000 profit in a year. This early success in real estate became the blueprint for their future empire. Over the next decade, they flipped dozens of homes, gaining experience in negotiation, design, and management. Alongside real estate, Drew explored various jobs, from flight attendant to personal trainer, learning about people, responsibility, and perseverance. By 2004, Drew got his real estate license to protect their earnings, and Scott Real Estate, Inc. was born, laying the foundation for the multi-million-dollar brand that would eventually lead to television fame. After years of auditions and small acting roles, Drew finally got his big break when Property Brothers premiered on HGTV in 2011. Initially, producers considered focusing solely on Jonathan, but Drew fought for his place on camera, and he won. His charisma, negotiation skills, and genuine care for homeowners became a hit with audiences. Millions tuned in weekly to watch Drew guide families through transformations that seemed magical but were rooted in years of real estate expertise. Within 2 years, spin-offs like Brother vs. Brother and Property Brothers, Forever Home expanded the franchise, and the Scott brand quickly became an international sensation. Drew's ability to balance creativity, business, and on-camera performance set him apart, proving that success requires both talent and resilience. As the show grew, so did their business. Scott Living, launched in 2015, became a multi-million-dollar home goods brand. Drew worked both in front of the camera and behind the scenes, overseeing design, production, and company strategy. Despite grueling 16-hour days, travel across multiple cities, and endless responsibilities, Drew managed to maintain his energy and optimism. This period also taught him an important lesson. Success is not just about working harder. It's about working smarter, delegating, and finding balance between creativity and management. Drew's involvement in both television and business demonstrated his versatility and ability to adapt under pressure. In 2010, Drew met Linda Fan at Toronto Fashion Week, and their connection was instant. They laughed, sang karaoke, and shared long nights talking. No mention of renovations or cameras. Just two people enjoying life. Linda later became creative director at Scott Brothers Entertainment, and their bond deepened through shared work and vision. They married in Italy in 2018, blending their Scottish and Vietnamese heritage, and welcomed their son Parker James in 2022, followed by daughter Piper Ray in 2024. Drew adjusted his career pace to support family life, balancing parenting, business, and television. These moments reminded fans that behind every famous face is a human story of love, responsibility, and family. In 2019, Drew's health began to deteriorate. Exhaustion, brain fog, dizziness, and muscle weakness were symptoms no one could explain. After months of testing, doctors diagnosed him with mercury poisoning and chronic fatigue syndrome. The illness forced him to step back from filming for over a year, while Jonathan continued solo. Drew's honesty on social media about his struggles made him relatable to millions, showing that even someone with fame and success can face invisible battles. Recovery was slow, requiring him to prioritize health, reduce travel, and carefully choose projects. His journey highlights the importance of self-care, patience, and seeking support during difficult times. Alongside health struggles, Drew faced public scrutiny. A lawsuit from homeowners claiming renovation issues created media buzz, and even false videos circulated online, falsely claiming Drew had died in a car accident. These events were stressful and upsetting, demonstrating how fame can amplify personal and professional challenges. Drew addressed these rumors publicly, reassuring fans and maintaining transparency. The experience emphasized the importance of honesty, resilience, and the ability to manage both public perception and personal well-being. Today, Drew Scott balances family, business, and creative projects with intention and care. Property Brothers. Forever Home and other projects focus on meaningful renovations, allowing him to work thoughtfully rather than rush through schedules. Scott Brothers Entertainment continues to produce content worldwide, while Scott Living thrives in home goods and design. Drew's story. From childhood on a horse farm, early business ventures, television fame, personal struggles, and recovery, offers powerful lessons about resilience, balance, and perseverance. He reminds fans that true success is not just measured by fame or wealth, but by the courage to face challenges, care for family, and stay authentic, even under the brightest spotlight. Even with fame, fortune, and a successful career, Drew Scott's journey has always been about more than just television and real estate. It has been a story of resilience, adaptation, and the careful balance between ambition and personal well-being. From his early childhood on a horse farm in Maple Ridge, where every day involved hard work, responsibility, and lessons in teamwork, to the creation of small businesses with his brother Jonathan, Drew learned that effort and persistence are the building blocks of success.